Shalloners, welcome back. Today I want to talk about something that I've actually talked about like years and years ago, but I felt like it was time for a refresher because gosh knows it's something we're all still dealing with. And honestly, this is an issue that we're going to deal with probably until the day we die, which is guys who flirt and cheat when they have a girlfriend. Why? Why do guys do this? Why are guys out like flirting so hard with us and like making all these like boyfriendy type moves if they've got a girlfriend? Short answer, because they can. Long answer though, we'll explore. But first, just want to remind you guys to watch all the way to the end for a brand new happy ending, my sex and hookup tip that I give you guys at the end of every video. And just want to remind you, if you have a love question of your own, you want to talk about this more in depth or anything else, excuse me, please hit me up on the Instant Go app. My username is ShallonXO and click chat to get connected. If you don't have Instant Go in your country just yet, please leave your question or comment right here in the comment section, okay? Oh, and just FYI, I've been getting a lot of like really hateful comments from, surprise, surprise, men, never women, like calling me a bitch and a whore and a dog fucking pig, all this stuff. So if you're gonna leave a comment, just like watch the swear words because I'm setting some filters to filter out psychopaths, basically, because we don't need any of that. Anyway, right. Guys who have a girlfriend. Let me just start by saying I am very familiar with this situation. In high school, my nickname was the mistress amongst my friends. So I know what I'm talking about. I've always been very alluring to guys who have girlfriends, or sometimes wives, but usually girlfriends because I don't like older dudes. Because I am very like fun and free and like outgoing. And it's like I sort of embody that like single guy freedom that they miss. And also, I think I was not putting any kind of demands on people, which is also very alluring when you're a guy cheating on their girlfriend. You want to go after someone who's not going to ask a lot of you because you're not going to give a lot. You want to go for that. You're a hunter and you're going to go for that slow moving wildebeest in the back. The wildebeest with low self-esteem, easily picked off, right? Because what I want you to take away from this, one of the main things I want you to take away is that people are unconsciously very manipulative. When we think of someone who's manipulating us, we think of them with like this huge whiteboard and they're like, and then I'm going to do this. It's like some grand plan they're executing. I've talked about this in my videos about a good guy fuckboy, you know, because you guys are always like, but he's a good guy. He can be a good guy and not be being good to you. Good people can hurt other people. You don't intend to get in your car and go drive and hit somebody and kill them, but it's possible. Intentions actually don't mean a whole heck of a lot. And people are manipulative, especially when they want to keep things the status quo. When they want to keep a situation that works for them continuing, they're going to do and they're going to say whatever they have to. And again, it's not necessary. He's not got a notepad, but these thoughts are crossing their mind and they are executing them because their needs and their ego boost, which is what we'll get to, is so much more important than your feelings, than his girlfriend's feelings. We'll also unravel that. So I'm going to tell you guys some harsh truths in this video. I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff because, as I've said before, we need to walk in the light of the truth. This is our work as women and as humans. Because if you're not, you are making decisions for your life based on a reality that doesn't exist, right? You don't do that in any other category of your life. Do you spend like your bank account is bottomless? Do you eat like calories don't count? Not for long, right? Because it catches up to you and you're like, that was a horrible idea. I'm in a lot of trouble now. This is just as bad. When you get involved with a dude who isn't available, you are eating with no thought to calories. You are spending like there's no tomorrow. But what you're consuming is fake love, and what you're spending is your time. You cannot get time back. You can make more money. You can work off that cheeseburger. Time is gone. And for women, time is much shorter because if you're interested in having kids, that is a real window. Like that is not that isn't a myth. Like, your body has a certain like shelf life in terms of reproduction. Look, I am all about adoption. I am all about foster momming. I'm not super into IVF. I think it's like kind of weird, but it's like kind of Jurassic Parky. But like, I don't really stress about that. And like, I'm not saying you should either. But if you're watching this video and you're 32, 33, 34 and up, and you're involved with a dude who's married, you might want to count backwards. If you want a family, you need to start thinking that way. Just like if you want a six-pack by spring, you need to start eating that way. If you want a nice nest egg to pay off a car or something, you got to start spending accordingly. Nothing in this life is free. We have to put in and we have to get out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through this. I'm going to go through this video and take you through the excuses that either you're making for him, which, let's be honest, is the majority of the time, because a lot of dudes don't really feel compelled to make apologies for themselves. They will be charming, but they won't say, you know what, you're right, I'm being such a dick, I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to take you through the excuses you're making for yourself and the excuses he's making. So a lot of the questions I get for you guys is like, this is a dude I work with. You know, we flirt. He's like, you know, hey, beautiful, what's going on? He'll give me a ride home. We'll have lunch together, blah, blah, blah. And then you say, I didn't know he had a girlfriend. He did. He knew. He knew the whole time. And why? So why was he flirting with you? Well, as I've said in other videos, guys can like you just a little bit. We're not like that as women. When I like someone, I'm all in. I want them. I want to meet their friends, meet their parents, sleep with them all the time, see them all the time. We're like, oh, guys aren't like that. And this is a fundamental difference between men and women. It's really weird. And it's maddening. But they can just be kind of like, so. And we as girls, we see one nice gesture as being indicative of 100 other nice gestures that can be behind that. That's not always true. Sometimes beneath the surface of their emotion, there's just more surface. So him flirting with you could mean, yeah, like he probably does like you. He's not like faking that. But he might not like you enough to leave the girlfriend, enough to make this legitimate. And also, a big thing that he's doing is boosting his ego. Because when you're in a serious relationship, you miss that thrill. When you're single, the highs are high, the lows are low. It's like being on a roller coaster. You know, sometimes good, sometimes bad. When you're in a stable relationship, you don't get those highs and lows. And a lot of people crave them. I know that I do. Like, yes, I was a mistress, but I was also the shitbird who had a side boy. Not proud, but this, yeah. So I'm telling you this from both sides of the coin, okay? So he's getting this ego boost, right? He's got the stable girlfriend at home who like it knows nothing, right? And he gets to go out, interact with you, and have this like fun, spicy, exciting thing. And the ego boost of knowing you like him because, child, he knows. None of us have the poker face we think we do, okay? Guys know when you like them. Like, I am the most obvious. Like, I'm obvious, you know? And I'm sure you are too, especially if it's a situation where you feel like it's inconsistent, right? Because one of the hallmarks of when a guy truly likes you in the right way is consistency and escalation, those two things. So if he's inconsistent, like he'll like slack you all day at the office and chit chat over IM, but like he will not answer your texts over the weekend or at night, that's weird. That's inconsistent. It's also a fucking red flag. That means he is using you to pass the time and boost his ego when he is bored. Are you someone's toy? A time waster? Is that your role in your family? Is that your role in your group of friends? No. You don't accept that shit in your interpersonal relationships either, right? Because it's awful. So yeah, it's like, I didn't know he had a girlfriend. Well, he did, and you know what? Now you do. Now you do. And here is where we get ourselves into trouble, because just knowing doesn't really always do much to deter us. And guys on some level know this because they know, consciously or not, that they've got their hooks in you. So it's like, she likes me. She's probably not going to cut this off, even though she found out that I have somebody, right? Because a lot of times these guys are fulfilling the same role for us. Ego boost, pass the time, make us feel good. But women are more sensitive and we're more deep, and we get more emotionally invested in things. It's not a weakness. It's just something that it is what it is. and they're going to prey on that, again, to keep things the status quo because it works for them. Because you know what everyone wants? Something for free. They want to get money and not have to work, to eat and not gain weight, to have a stable girlfriend, and also a really super fun, spicy interaction. And who does that benefit? Them. Not you, not the girlfriend. In fact, the girlfriend's almost in the best possible situation because she doesn't know any of this. So she's just like, I have a wonderful boyfriend. You are the one who has to know everything. You are carrying the burden of knowledge on your shoulders. And the truth burden that I want you to carry should be the right truth, that this is not a good guy. Maybe he is a good guy. He is not a good guy for you. And here's another excuse we give ourselves. Excuse number 2. It's like we don't even say this consciously to ourselves. He has to get to know me more so that he can fall in love with me. I have to keep hooking up with him so he'll see how good I am at it and he'll want to leave her. How's that working? I can tell you how well it worked for me when I spent, weeks, months, years of my life doing this. Not well. Because when 2 people meet, guys aren't like, well, I need to fuck her a bunch of times before I know that I like her, and I need to string her along for 6 months before I know that I want to date her. No, that's not how it goes. They ask you out right away. You get to know each other together. You're both putting in an investment. Why are you sitting there exposed emotionally and sometimes physically and letting him do an audit of your personality and your sexual skills before he gets to decide if you're together? Is this a garage sale? This is ridiculous. You cannot have a relationship that is that imbalanced. And again, he knows how all in you are. And he knows that he's the little puppet master who can just be like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready yet. When a guy wants you, he'll come after you. And the girls who have been the side chick that I know, I'm talking celebrities, regular chicks, the ones who have actually gotten the guy to leave the girlfriend, leave the wife, have done it by pulling away. They sat them down and been like, you know what? I deserve better than this. And I deserve someone who agrees that I deserve better than this. So, you know what? I want to be with you. You know how I feel. I'm not going to restate it. If you want to be with me, you're going to have to take some risks. You're going to have to put some skin in the game. I've been risking my heart and my emotion. And you want me to keep risking my heart, my emotion, and my future with you. You know where to find me. Don't talk to me unless that phone call is going to say, I'm single. And a lot of times they've done it. And if they haven't, that is your answer. It is bad to waste 6 months with someone who's not available. It is worse to waste 6 months and 1 day, right? That's another thing we tell ourselves. I've already come this far. All this time will be such a waste. Only if you don't learn from it. And don't throw good money after bad, as the saying goes. Don't throw good time after bad. Break free. Here's another thing we say to ourselves, and this is a big one. You guys say this all the time. His girlfriend's such a bitch, and she doesn't understand him, and he's miserable, and he tells me about their fights, and she's so awful. Here's a newsflash. No, she's not awful. You know why? You know why I know that? If she was that awful, he'd break up with her. Walking in the light of the truth is not always comfortable. Just like walking in sunlight isn't. You're like, it's beaming right in my eyes. It's hurting me. I bet that hurt. But that hurt is you waking up, is you stepping out into the light. The plain fact is, people don't stay in situations that aren't working. They don't. They get out of them. This is human nature. This doesn't take a shit ton of bravery and strength. This is just human nature. That relationship he's in works somehow. You think he's going to tell you how? How do you think he's going to paint this girlfriend? You know what? She's super loving. She's always there for me. I love her family. No, because then what are you going to do? You're going to have this crisis of morality and be like, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm breaking up this happy couple, and you're going to get the memo. He's never going to leave her. So he's going to villainize that girlfriend to keep you on the hook. Because as I've said before, what's the number one thing a sociopath wants? Pity. Pity. I'm not saying he's a sociopath, but think about it. when you're in trouble, when you're late for school or late for work, oh, my car wouldn't start, and then there was this family of ducklings crossing the road. You want a little bit of pity because that pity is very, very useful. So he's going to tap into that too. She's such a bitch. She doesn't understand me. Let me tell you something about how hard it is to get out of a relationship. My husband ghosted me. My husband stopped speaking to me until I moved out. Don't tell me he can't break up with a girl over text that he's dating. He can. Even if they live together, even if they've got kids, a dog, a house. It's possible. It happens every day. People get divorced and people break up every day. Nothing that is happening here is unique or a crazy outlier. It's never happened before. And I know when we're in situations like this, we want all the evidence we can that this is so crazy and unique, because then common sense doesn't have to apply, right? Well, no. This is so complicated. Like your advice of pure logic. That's not us. That's not us. Yes, it is. You are special in a million ways. You're not special in this. Okay? But that should bolster you, because that is a data point, and that is telling you, like, this bitch is not going to change. Like I said, if he's going to, it has to be from you pulling back and setting some goddamn boundaries. Do you really want to be in a relationship with someone who can walk all over you? Who's just like biding their time until one day maybe they'll wake up and decide they want to be with you? That is not what it's supposed to be. That's a fear-based decision because you're desperate and you don't want to be alone. But what you are when you're the side chick is so much worse than being alone. It is so much worse. Aloneness is peace. Excuse me. We have to stop viewing singlehood as the worst possible thing that can befall us. This is the worst thing. Being a mistress, being the side bitch, being on the back burner, being a second option. This is the worst thing because it's wasting your time, right? And like I said, women, our time is finite, much more finite than men's. So if that's something you're thinking of, you need to wake the fuck up. And I'm here to help, right? You guys probably hate me by now. So yeah, like I was saying, the fourth excuse, it's complicated. I remember when I was this dude's mistress, he just had a girlfriend. They weren't like married men. Like Blanche Devereaux said in The Golden Girls, well, I'm no fool. I don't sleep with married men. They always feel so guilty. They end up giving the really good jewelry to the wife. This is true. He had a girlfriend, couldn't break up with her. They didn't live together. They're just dating. And I went on and on and on and on and on to my guy friend at work, and it's complicated and this and that. And he was just like, Shallon, he's just a dick who likes having two girlfriends. And I was like, no, but he's like, no, it's not complicated. It's the least complicated thing in the world. Everyone wants to have two girlfriends or five. He's like, wouldn't you like to have two boyfriends? The stable one and then the fiery, spicy one who also like kind of let you do whatever you wanted emotionally to them. It's like, yes, it's not complicated. Don't make it complicated. Don't keep making excuses for someone who isn't even making excuses for themselves. And last but not least, the favorite excuse that we hear, it's like, he can't right now. You know, it's timing and he can't. And like, maybe her grandpa just died or they're still in school or the same town. Honey, there's no great time to break up. There's no good time for bad news, right? There is a good time for you to wake up and say, if he wanted me, he would simply come after me. This is the facts. This is just the truth. And if he's not, it's because either he doesn't think you have to, he has to, aka you haven't put up any boundaries, or B, he's a dick who likes having two girlfriends. And you know what? When people do this, chances are they're going to keep doing it. They're going to have this sort of dynamic in their relationships for the rest of their life because they're greedy and they're dissatisfied and they are entitled and they think, you know what? I deserve to have someone I flirt with and a girlfriend. What's the harm? It's just flirting. Because sometimes if you call people out, it's like, hey, we're just flirting. So that is also a data point. That means this person is not going to let you go. The devil doesn't just let you walk out of hell. You know? And as unfair as it is to have to be your own executioner, I know when my husband ghosted me, I had to break up with myself and be like, well, I guess this marriage is over since he's not going to sit down and have this conversation with me like an adult. It's not fair, but it's less fair to keep yourself in a situation that isn't serving you, that's wasting your time and breaking your heart for what? I was talking to my friend the other day, and they're in a similar situation. I'm like, thinking that this dude is the only dude you can be happy with is like going to a store in New York City, trying on a dress that's uncomfortable, too tight, ugly, and doesn't fit, and thinking, oh God, I can't possibly just go to a different store. I mean, I don't know. I gotta just make this horrible dress work. There are more men in the world than there are dresses in Manhattan. I got news for you. So go out there and get a man that fits. Stand up for yourself. Walk in the light of the truth. You are better than this. You are better than this. Cut him off. You can have a speech and be like, I don't want to be your fucking side bitch anymore. But like I've said, when it comes to closure, you have to accept that closure is something you give yourself. He's not going to tell you, he's not going to be like, you're right, I'm going to let you go. No. He is going to say and do whatever he needs to manipulate you into staying because this situation works for him. That's why I think it's like, it should be a short text like, I can't do this anymore. Enjoy your girlfriend. Call me when you're single. Block, delete. You don't have to block someone forever, but you have to repel borders. If you're fighting in a fortress and the enemy is advancing and you fire a bomb at them, you're going to keep the fucking gates open? No, you're going to shut them. Not forever, but you need to repel borders and set up some boundaries, not just for him, but for yourself, to get back your self-esteem. Because I guarantee where you're at right now, your self-esteem is really low. You're starting to feel really bad about yourself, just disposable, terrible. And that, at some point, you are complicit in. The moment you found out he had a girlfriend and you let him keep flirting with you, you became the co-architect of your own misfortune. I want something better than that for you. If you guys have more questions on this, like I said, find me on the Instant Go app. Username ShallonXO and click chat. And now it's time for happy endings. I'm going to do a whole video on lingerie, but just quickly, I want to touch on thongs versus like panties versus granny panties. Like when you're like getting busy. I'm gonna say it, take a bold stance here. Thongs are not that flattering. Like they're flattering on like 2% of the population. For the most part, here's my underwear drawer. No, I don't have anything to do it. What's this? Okay. God, these look enormous. Is my butt this big? Oh, these are an XL. Someone sent them to me. So a panty with this kind of like back, where like a cheeky. These are. I guess I have really big butt. Panties that are cheeky like this, they show just enough to make it sexy, but for some reason the thong thing is it's too much skin. You know, like that's not always our best angle. Please don't pull your thong up all the way over your hip bones like Bella Hadid, because then you get long butt, because your butt visually starts where the top of that waistband is. So if you pull it all the way up to your bottom rib, you look like you have a really long, weird butt. I've asked a lot of guys about this, and they're like, yeah, it's not a good look. They're like, I mean, it doesn't even look good on Bella Hadid. She looks so much better in something that was lower. It's true. Because you want your butt to look like perky, juicy, apple. Apples aren't shaped like this. They're shaped like this. Peaches aren't shaped like this. They're like that. So you want to like have that little boom. Not a banana butt. Apple butt. Peach bottom. One thing you definitely don't want to do is pull your underwear down over your fanny fold. Okay? You always want to see that crease. That's the flattering crease. Any type of body. I don't care if you're 700 pounds. That's going to look more flattering. So have a brief that comes down low and comes up a little bit more high cut, right? Even in a swimsuit, when you pull it down over your fanny fold, it looks like a diaper. Don't do it. But like I said, I'm going to do a whole video on lingerie, probably in the first of the year, maybe around like Valentine's Day, and give you guys some little tips. Also, be on the lookout soon for a gift guide I'm going to do for every stage of dating, right? Because we're always like, I'm at this point in dating. What do I get him? Do I get him nothing? What's he going to get me? Sort it all out, baby. For more click like and subscribe, and comment below if you have any other video ideas. Be sure to share with your friends, and find me on social media, ShallonXO on Snap, Twitter, and Instagram.